Hello, I'm Ryan Kerr. Welcome to Unpacking the Pantry. Today we're doing eggs and onions, or commonly known as the onion dish. Sometimes the process for coming up with cooking videos for 18th century cooking is John just coming across something when he was reading and being excited about it in a journal. Other times it's people pouring through cookbooks, searching for interesting recipes. Sometimes it's John, sometimes it's me. There are a couple other people that help out. This is one that I found last week, and it was the one that I was wanting to do when we did the potato apple pie recipe that went up, I think, last Monday. At any rate, John did not want to do this recipe. Now, I can't blame him. It's just flavors that he doesn't like. I was interested in it because it reminds me of deviled eggs, which is one of my favorite things to eat all the time growing up. My grandmother made fantastic deviled eggs, and we would have them at holidays and different things, like a lot of people. If you wanted a deviled egg in my family, you should probably be first in line because they went quick, and if you were at the back of the line, you might not get one at all. Now, this recipe is not actually deviled eggs, but the flavors are there, and I think that it's a really close idea. It's from Cookery and Pastry from Mrs. Susanna McIver. Boil some eggs hard, cut some onions in slices across, and fry them with browned butter. Take them carefully out of the butter and drain it from them. Cut the eggs in round slices, beat some fresh butter, mix in some mustard and vinegar. Then put in the eggs and onions and toss it upon the fire and dish it. I've already got my eggs boiling so that we can take them out, cool them, and cut them. I'm going to get to work on these onions. I think what this recipe is going for is some pretty big slices of onion. I think that we also want onions that are roughly the size of an egg, so that you kind of have both of these things that are in symmetry, but the textures are really different. So you'll get some of the crunchiness of the onion. I don't plan to cook them until they're really soft, because the egg's already really soft. And nothing's worse than eating a dish that everything is the same texture. So, all right, we got one more little guy here. Get him cut up. And then I've got some onions already. I think it's time for our brown butter sauce. So I'm just gonna get a skillet hot. We'll throw some butter in there, let it brown up a little bit, and then we'll get the onions in. So I'm going to flip all of these onions, but I'm trying to keep them as whole as I can so that I get them grilled on both sides, but they're still a circle, and they'll match the shape of the eggs when we plate this. Our eggs are out of the water. The onions are finishing off. I'm going to let these guys cool, and while they're cooling, we're going to whip up the sauce real quick. Now, they're just asking us to take some butter and add some vinegar and mustard to taste. So this is probably the part that the folks that don't like acidic or bitter flavors, you can use as much or little vinegar as you want to. I'm just going to throw some in here to get it started here, and you're just gonna stir. I'm just gonna go. All right, so we got some vinegar mixed in there, but we also need to add some mustard, and I really like mustard. So I'm going to put a nice little dollop in there to start with, and we're just going to keep on whipping this up and see where we get. All right, so we've got this butter sauce whipped up, and I don't know about you guys, but that looks an awful lot like what goes inside of a deviled egg. I'm pretty excited about this. I didn't know for sure how this would turn out when I saw it. I just knew the flavors were there, but now it's like, if we were just gonna cut the eggs a little differently and scoop those yolks out to use in this, we could make deviled eggs. It's really close. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and some black pepper, and then we're gonna give this thing a nice plating and give it a try. Now look at those. I don't know about you guys, but these look an awful lot like deviled eggs to me. Let's dig in. Okay, so let's cover a couple of things real quick. She calls for you to kind of, it seems like in the recipe, it's a little hard to translate at the end, but it seems like she wants you to put the onions and the eggs in with the sauce. Like, I guess it would be kind of like an egg salad. The problem that I have with that is she's very clear throughout the recipe that you need to be careful when you're moving the onions, when you're cooking them, when you're slicing the eggs. She wants these shapes. So I didn't want to mess with the shapes. I think it's more about presentation. And so I waited and I just put the sauce on top of them. They're big. It's going to be a big bite. I don't really know the best way to eat it, so I'm just going to dive in and we'll see what it's like. That's really, really good. It's a big bite. It's really good though. You've got the creamy egg yolk, the crunchy texture from the onion, but not too much, and it's not super strong because we cooked them down. And then that vinegar, mustard, creamy mixture. There's a lot of texture going on in there. I don't know. I can't say enough. It certainly doesn't eat like a deviled egg because you're not used to anything crunchy in a deviled egg. It's just as good though. It's just a little different. The whole point of this show is to encourage folks that might be interested in historic cooking to get in their kitchens at home and give it a try. You don't need any special tools. This is a simple recipe. It's very approachable and it's very yummy. So go on, go get in your kitchen, give this one a try. Thank you for joining me on Unpacking the Pantry, and you have a great day.